So you've decided to go to therapy. Well, first of all, good for you. This is probably one of the most important things you can do for your mental health. In this video today, I'm going to share with you 3 of my tips in finding a good fit for therapy. So stick around. Number 1, where in the world do I find my therapist? Great question. A lot of people ask for recommendations from friends or family or coworkers. It can be really daunting and a bit stressful on where do I find this person? Where are they? Well, in the description box below, I have linked a website that will give you a list of all the current licensed mental health providers in your area. From this list, you can narrow down gender, race, ethnicity, specialty, you name it. It will give all the information you need on each licensed mental health clinician. After you've compiled a list of some therapists that look like a good fit, it's important to make sure their license is valid and current. If you live in California, I'm going to put a link below in the description to a website called BBS, the Board of Behavioral Sciences. You click that link and you enter their first and last name. It should bring you to a page that will confirm and verify that their license is good to go. Tip number 2, once you get a list of some potential therapists, it's really important to call them and set up a brief phone consultation so you can learn a little bit more. Probably about the most important thing is payment. What kind of payment does this therapist accept? Do they take insurance of any kind, or do they private pay only? That's really important to work out because sometimes therapists can be very expensive and you want to make sure you can afford this service before you get going. So work out the payment information. You can also ask about sliding scale. Some therapists who pay or are private pay only will have a minimum they accept. So say that they charge $180 an hour. Maybe they go down to $120 an hour for some people, depending on income level. I'm not sure about all those details, but you can certainly ask if they do have a sliding scale. While you have that therapist on the phone for that initial consultation, I do recommend you ask a few questions, and I'm going to put those in the description box below. These questions will just give you a better sense of who the therapist is and if it would be a good fit. For example, one of the questions is about their specialty or if they have any certifications. The other one is about what kind of theoretical orientation that they usually use. There's something called cognitive behavior therapy, dialectical behavior therapy, narrative therapy. So ask a little bit about what they typically use with their clients if they have a specialty. It might be a good idea just to talk about expectations. Talk about what you're trying to accomplish. What are you seeking? Are you looking to increase a behavior, decrease a behavior? Ask about if there's any homework that they will give you usually, because the therapy continues outside the therapy session. Typically you will get homework where you have to do certain things during the week, read an article, start reading a certain book, to doing a breathing activity. It really varies on the therapist and what the interventions are. But ask a little bit about that. Ask about homework, ask about interventions, talk about what you are specifically seeking therapy for. Be as specific as you can, because let's be real, you can go to therapy for years, but I believe therapy is best used as needed. So if you're going through a hard time in your life or a struggle or a painful situation, finding someone who you trust and you can talk to and will give you practical interventions to overcome the struggle you are in, that's going to be really effective for you. And that might only be 1 or 5 or 6 sessions. It can be short term, and then you're on your way and you go back and you live your life and you practice their skills learned. And if you feel like you need to go back for more support, then you go back, but you can take breaks and go back. And I really believe that is a really nice way to engage in therapy. I don't believe you should go for, weekly therapy for like 5 years straight. Therapy should help you along your way, but you need to be empowered as the client to have the skills to get on with your day-to-day life, and that's what a therapist will teach you. Another good question to ask is, how long are the sessions? Are they 50 minutes, 60 minutes? And does this therapist have appointments during the day, weekend, in the evening? So get a sense of their schedule and what will work best for you. If you can only see someone on Saturday at 4, you need to find a therapist that's going to meet that need. So my third and final suggestion is to schedule your first therapy session. and use this session as a way to gauge if this is going to be a good fit for you. Because remember, you're the one paying this person. You are doing the shopping here, and you can decide who you want to see in therapy. You have no obligation to any therapist. They're providing you a service. So feel empowered and feel like, yes, this is my right to find a person that is a good fit for me, that I feel comfortable with, I feel safe with, and then I can see working with this person for long term. Because you might come and go, right? You might need therapy for a couple months, and then you might not need it for another year. Get a sense if this is a person you want to keep in your life as a therapist, and you will get that sense after the first session. After your first session, process it with a friend or a partner. Talk about things you liked or didn't like, or any gut feelings you had. All those instincts are very important to listen to, because therapy is a lot about the intervention, but it's a lot about the relationship you have with that therapist. If you feel comfortable and safe and open with that person, you're going to accept their interventions, and you're going to be more inclined to do your homework, and you're just going to have a better success in therapy if you feel comfortable with your therapist. So use this first session as an interview almost on how you're feeling. Again, listen to your gut. Be very aware of that feeling you have after you meet this person, and is it someone you can continue to work with? All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me. I hope these 3 tips were helpful. I know things are a little weird right now with COVID and quarantine. I'm sure a lot of therapists are not doing therapy in person. I personally am only seeing clients online over Zoom, but I think the information is still very pertinent, especially points 1 and 2. How to find a good therapist, and questions you can ask during a consultation on the phone. And then moving forward, even on Zoom, even online, you can still get a sense of, is this a good fit? Is this person going to be someone I can get into a therapeutic relationship with or not? So you can still get a sense of that online. I mean, it's not as great as in person, but you will certainly get a sense of that connection. Listen to it, talk with someone about it. And again, I hope these 3 tips were helpful, and I wish you all the best mental health, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Ooh, it's raining outside. I live in California, and it hasn't rained in so long. Oh, it's really coming down.
Oh, hi. You want to say goodbye? Oh, say goodbye.
You're such a goon.
What are you doing? You getting lonely? You getting lonely?